So yeah, we got the new retainer today, and I was gonna have him do an update and have Caitlin do another one when she got home Sunday. But strangely enough, he started running a fever. For those of you that don't know, he had a fever last week and they couldn't find out what was wrong. They kept saying it was viral and for him to go back to school as I seen fit. Then we were rechecking his blood fairly often because something was off with his white blood cells and his red blood cells. And it finally went back to normal within the second or third week. I can't remember. And now here he is presenting with a fever again. No other real symptoms. So I don't know. Got a new retainer. It's a bit thicker than the other one, which is messing with him. This is just the temporary one. His permanent one will be in a few weeks, and he did a good job with it. It is the top that goes in the roof of the mouth will be black with a skull and crossbone. It had some really cool ones to choose from, like turn the roof of your mouth into a leaf and make it look like a ladybug was on there. There was some really cool ones, and you could choose colors and glitter and glow in the dark, just some really cool things. And I have a feeling once he gets that, it'll be a little bit easier to keep up with. These clear ones, if any of you all have ever had Invisalign or know somebody who's had Invisalign, understand the pain in the ass that these clear things are, because they're very, if you don't know they're there and you don't touch them, you likely won't see them. We had an incident. Aiden had been sitting on the floor eating a snack, and he had taken his retainer out, and instead of putting it in the case, he actually set it on top of the case, and coming through, his sister accidentally kicked it. And we never found it. Not because our living room is a mess or anything of that nature, because it is clear. And unless you touch it, then you don't realize that it's there. So when they called me from the school and they were like, we think he lost his inhaler. And I said, are you sure? I mean, I don't see him calling me over an inhaler. If it was his inhaler, he would be like, oh, well, we have plenty more at home because we get those 3 months at a time. And with rescue inhalers, they're not on a set date for refill like his normal retain or his normal inhaler would be. So I was like, are you sure you don't mean his retainer? She said, well, let me go get him and bring him up here and have him call you. Sure enough, it was his retainer. Sadly, as I was afraid, I got charged to replace that piece of plastic or whatever it is until his permanent one comes in. Now, I could have fought that and just waited, but then that means that when his permanent retainer comes in, since it's going to be a couple more weeks, it would either not fit or be very, very tight and uncomfortable. So I went ahead and did it. I didn't even ask how much it is. I told them, put it on the end of what I owe you guys, because I'm approved through OrthoBank. Our insurance covers 50% with no maximum. I don't know how they do with replacement pieces. So I'm curious to see if I'm charged 100% or if I get a discount on that part. I guess I'll wait and see. I know that what I owe is under $700, or at least it was. Hopefully it still is, because my goal was to pay this off after Christmas. And that way when he's ready for the herbalist and full treatment, it's all taken care of. So then all I gotta do is make a good size down payment so they don't kill me on the monthly payments. And then go from there, because the next step is going to take a while. Start with the herbalist, full braces, headgear, and probably 3 to 4 years of treatment, because his jaw is that bad. His upper jaw is fixed finally, but because it's in the correct position and his bottom jaw is so back, it causes his lip to sort of looks like that all the time, and he can't help it. But I've been telling him, if you notice it, try to fix it, and maybe one day you'll subconsciously realize, hey, you know, stop doing it. Because, and I don't really care about the appearance, and he doesn't either, but it can cause him to slobber sometimes, even though he is 11. And for one, that's a little embarrassing for an 11-year-old. And for two, in weather where it is chilly and like windy, it causes chapped places like on his face and his mouth. So we don't want that, but he is doing much better. I actually think this one is going to remind him a little more that it's there, so that he doesn't rush off to school with it in, because the rules were, they told him not to wear it to school, but that if he wanted to, he could, but he was risking the chance of losing it or breaking it, and guess what? That's exactly what happened. Exactly a week from the date that he received it. And the orthodontist was like, "You've not beat my record. My record's been less than 24 hours." And I was like, "Aiden, don't try to do that. Don't try to break that record." So he's only been without the retainer for 24 hours, so I don't think there's going to be much of a change. So when he gets his new retainer, at most it's going to be a little bit tight, and then his teeth will shift to fit in the retainer, so he can still keep that beautiful front smile that he has right now with top teeth. His top teeth look perfect. But I do understand that they have to put braces across them to not misalign his bite or anything, which I'm sure he'll have bands and stuff, because a lot of that is to readjust the jaw and the bite and all that. So we'll see, especially with the herbalist and the headgear, which I'm sure he's going to hate, but, you know, has to happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will try to have them both do their updates soon when he's feeling better, because he's a lot more, I don't know, I think he tells things a lot funnier than I do. I love to listen to him talk, and Caitlin is a little bit more knowledgeable about what's going on with her, because she does most of her visits, not necessarily alone, but they pull them back at the same time, so I'm usually sitting with him since he's the youngest one and kind of listening for what's going on with her, so she can explain to you what's going on with hers. I'm pretty sure she is very close to getting hers completely removed and having a temporary retainer until she has a permanent retainer. Now she will be wearing hers 24/7. He's really only wearing his when he's at home and asleep, because it's just his 4 front teeth that they fixed along with the jaw. And yes, even though he takes it out for school, as soon as he gets back home and pops it in, he's like, "Oh, it's tight, it's tight." And it's going to be that way till the teeth settle where they're supposed to be. Anyway, this was my not official update. I just want to let you guys know exactly what's going on, and I hope you guys are doing well. Love from us all. Bye.